Aerobic progressions today, guys. Aerobic progressions are very effective. I'm not going to talk about why we do them. Just know that there's plenty of work that has gone into why we choose to do aerobic progressions. But here are two key notes that I want to just cover real quick before we jump into them. Is number one is they are not sexy. This is not going to get you likes on Instagram. This is not going to get you more friends in the gym. This is going to make you bored, super bored. But they do work. And so as a result, what I want to challenge you to do is to fall in love with the process of doing these. Fall in love with the purpose and the why. Read about them, study them a little bit, open a book, send us some messages, send me some messages. I don't really mind, but they do work. So fall in love with the idea that the fact that these do work, they are not sexy, but fall in love with that process. Today's conversation is more about how we do aerobic progressions. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a row. And if we want to get better at rowing specifically, right? Or like, I want to get better at a row. Now, typically what I do is I test people on a 3K row, okay? But if we want to set up an aerobic progression, we must always assess. It doesn't matter. We have to assess where the person is. On a continuum of athletic ability or fitness, we have to figure out exactly where this person is so we can train at their threshold. So we're going to assess 3K row time. The person has a 12-minute 3K row time. If I divide that up, what is the average 500-meter split time? It is going to be, 2 minutes split for 500 meters, okay? So what does this look like? I have this data, I have this information, then what does this look like? Now, I'm not gonna get into race pace theory. I think that's a different conversation for a different day. Race pace theory states about 25% is what we want for training volume for repeats. So what's gonna make math easy for now is just 500 meters. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 500 meter repeats on the row. Okay, we're gonna rest about 60 seconds, okay? And our split time is gonna be a little bit less than what we did here. So this 2-minute split time, we're gonna go down to 159 to 158. And how many sets are we gonna do with this? I don't know, 8-ish. Find a number and do it, okay? This is your threshold. We're bumping this up just a little bit, making it a little bit more aggressive, and we're attempting to take where you're currently at, that specific spot, on a spectrum, on a continuum, and move it back slightly, okay? We can do the exact same thing with the bike, okay? We do a 2 to 10-minute bike test. Our score, or what we get out of this, is 150 cals, okay? What we can do next is we averaged about 15 calories a minute during this bike test. So what I'll do is 1 minute on, rest about 40 seconds, okay, times about 10 rounds, and I'm gonna ask for this person to give me 16 calories. Now, Dean, how do you know how many sets to do and what the rest should be? The rest for aerobic progressions should always be less than the work. So if it's 1 minute work, we want to be less than that, okay? And the reason for that is we do not want full recovery because we're not going that hard. It's an aerobic effort. Okay, 40 seconds rest here for a 1 minute effort over here, 60 seconds of rest here for about a 2 minute effort over here. Now, depending on what we want to do with this client, we can adjust the rest to either make them work harder. So if we want to bring this to 16 to 17 to 18 calories, then we bring the rest up. Okay, same thing if we want to bring the split time down here, 158 or 159, 158 down to 157, 156, we need to bring the rest up. But we can never do more than a 1-to-1 rest to work ratio as long as it's aerobic work. Sets, we always want to do more sets. More sets, 8, 9, 10 plus is going to definitely be more enduring aerobic activity. When we start bringing that back a little bit closer to from like 6, 5, 4. 4 is not really an ideal set scheme for aerobic progressions, but 5 and 6, 7, that kind of stuff is going to be a little bit more power endurance or power aerobic work. Okay, but we can play with the sets, we can play with the rest, and then we can even play with what we're asking for our clients to do for us. But note that these progressions, that we're asking specific numbers for our clients. We're asking our clients to give us specific results. Why? Because they are people with specific thresholds. Everybody's threshold is going to be somewhere different. Okay, aerobic progressions, test your clients first. Give them or get some information from that test, and then from there start to progress them and start to prescribe them progressions that make sense, that are specific to where they're at. You can do this with burpees and a whole host of other things and create mixed modal pieces. We start tying rowing with burpees and all other pieces. We start tying these pieces together and give specific notes to each and every single metric as clients are going through. Guys, have fun, enjoy. Hey, don't be afraid to ask some questions. If you have some questions, send them our way. Cool.